Kidversations, small voices, big stories.
What's poppin'? Welcome back to another episode of Kidversations. I'm Charleston, and today we're interviewing the band Alathea. Your name is Cristi, and your name is Mandee. Thank you for coming to our podcast.
I'm glad to be here today.
Me too.
Let me tell you a secret. This is actually my mom, and this is my aunt. Shh! Don't tell anybody. How did you come up with the band Alathea?
Well, we were asked to open for a show at Milligan College for somebody that we like to listen to, and we were super excited. And we had been playing music for a while, like in our dorm rooms. We were both college students, and Mandee was writing songs, and we would play what we called the harmony game. So she would play a song that she'd written, and I would try and come up with a harmony part.
Instead of going out to the movies or going out to eat like normal college students, we would just play the harmony game all day, every day.
Pretty nerdy.
Yeah.
But it was fun. And then we got this opportunity to play the show. So that's when we were trying to come up with a name to put on the poster. Because back then you put like Sharpie, put your name on a poster. And so we were asking our friend's dad, who spoke Greek, to tell us some pretty Greek words. And he said Alathea. And we were like, oh, that's pretty. What does it mean?
Yeah.
And he said truth. And we were like, okay, that works. And we scribbled it down. And here we are 25 years later with that same.
That's awesome.
Still Alathea. Yes.
How did you guys meet?
We met, I was in college at Milligan, and Cristi was at East Tennessee State. And we met, we were volunteer Young Life leaders. So Young Life, you do a lot of music in the programming for Young Life. And so I started playing my guitar for the students, and we met doing that together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The first song we sang together was
Country Roads.
Country Roads.
Take Me Home.
When did you write your first song?
Ask Your Mama.
When did you write your first song?
Okay, so I got a guitar. I asked for a guitar for Christmas when I was 16. And Cece and Poppy, your grandparents, bought me a guitar from JCPenney. And JCPenney's not known for making quality music instruments. So it wasn't really a great instrument. But I got it for Christmas, and I sat in my room and I played it every single day, and I just practiced changing chords. And as soon as I could change 3 chords, I wrote my first song. And I went downstairs and I played it for Poppy. And he said, "Who wrote that? Amy Grant?" And I was like, "No, I wrote it upstairs." And he said, "Let's get in the car right now, and we're going to buy you a good guitar." So he got me right in the car, and we went and got a nice
That's
guitar.
sweet.
I know, it was really sweet.
Poppy's sweet.
Poppy's a good guy.
How did you grow up with music?
I grew up, so my mom, I don't know if you know this, I mean, you know my mom.
Yeah.
She plays the piano, and she's played since she was a little girl. My dad also played piano, and when they were in college and they met, they were in a little band. They played music together. But my dad's whole family, and there's a lot of them, like aunts and uncles and cousins, and they like every time we would get together for a holiday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, everybody would end up in their basement, which was really a basement, but there was a piano at the bottom of the basement. And so my aunts could play piano too. My dad, somebody would sit down at the piano and start playing, and everybody else would start singing. I thought that's what all families did. I thought that was like the normal. Yeah. And so somebody would start singing the melody, and everybody else would just try and come up with the harmony part. And
that's cool.
so I've always loved like harmony and trying to find like a little niche in there that nobody else was already singing. Yeah, it's fun.
When you first played in front of the public, when you were opening for a band, were you nervous?
I wasn't nervous. I never get nervous.
I was nervous. I'm always nervous.
Yeah.
But at that concert, I don't know if you know this about Cristi, but she gets toe cramps a lot. So we are up there on our little stools, coffee house style, playing music, and she got a toe cramp, and she had to stand up and walk and pace the stage in the middle of the concert. Somehow people still hired us to come play.
Oh, it's a true story.
What was the band that you opened for?
It was a singer-songwriter solo guy. His name's Bebo Norman.
Mm-hmm.
He's really good.
That's cool.
Acoustic guitar player.
So I already know this, but do you have any kids?
I'll let you go first, Cristi.
I do. I have a son who is 15 years old, and he is taller than me now, and he does not like being in front of people at all.
Yeah, no.
So I'm sure you've heard the story, but when he was in kindergarten, every morning, you know, he had like art or PE, and so we tried to like tell him about what he was going to do. So we got to the day that he had music class, and he looked horrified, just like, what in the world? And I was like, no, Samuel, it's like what Mom and Aunt Mandee do. Like, you get to go and sing songs and play music. He started sobbing, crying. And my Justin and I looked at each other and we were like, what in the world? And we finally got him to calm down. And what he thought was that music class meant he had to get up and perform in front of people. And so anyway, I was like, I ruined music for him. Yeah. So he likes basketball now instead of music.
I have 2 children. One of them, this cutie patootie. And I have another son named Burton, and he's 13, and you're 11. And when I was pregnant with Burton, we were in Nashville recording a children's album that we have. And the whole time we were recording, I was pregnant with Burton. And then after I had Burton, he traveled with me everywhere we went.
That's cool.
Samuel traveled with us when he was an infant and a baby. We play mostly all in the United States and travel. So we fly a lot, like if we go to the West Coast or Florida, far away. But we've always brought you kids with us. And I have pictures of you being in like one of those little baby carriers and me having my guitar over you. Yeah.
We recorded a record with you in the baby carrier. Like you would fall asleep in between takes, and we'd have to switch turns. So whichever one of us was holding, you would go in and sing.
Well, and it was funny too because the producers would be like, "He's so good with the music," because you wouldn't cry, you wouldn't make a peep. We'd be in the sound booth singing, recording our vocal, and you would just be in there with us. Yeah. So you've made lots of records yourself, yes?
Yeah, it's all me.
Yeah, it is.
It's all you.
Maybe I should get the money. Do you have any jobs that's not being in a band?
For a long time, our only job was being in a band. And then when COVID happened, we didn't get to play music as much because there wasn't live music happening. So that's when we became music teachers at St. Mary's School. And we are the artists in residence together. They call us artists in residence at St. Mary's. So we teach music. And then I just recently got my real estate license, and I love it. It's really, really fun. But I love it because that enables me to have the freedom and space and finances in my life to be able to go create music.
I will tell you this. I think you probably know this too, but as long as we've been playing music, I've been writing a book, and I haven't finished it yet. So now that your mom is also doing real estate and I'm only at the school part-time, I get to like spend extra time doing that. So I hope to get it finished. And it's kind of like telling a lot of the stories of us traveling with our kids and the things that we've learned, the people that we meet along the way. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's gonna be like fresh off the boat.
That's our favorite show. I don't think it will be as funny as Fresh Off the Boat. Well,
we've had some funny things.
We have had a lot of funny things happen. Yeah, but neither of us are as crazy as the mom on that show.
She's awesome.
She is awesome.
She's pretty good.
I'm pretty close.
Yeah, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What is your first memory of music?
Music Man.
Okay, the first play that you were that's very cool. Okay.
It's funny because you were around music so much before then, but that's probably what fed into you being able to do Music Man.
I don't remember any of the music.
I have a video of us. We were at this big church in Knoxville, and we had played a concert, or we were getting ready to play, and you and Burton and Samuel are running back and forth between the pews, and all you see are your little heads, and it looks like Pac-Man going back and forth. But you guys have been to hotels with us. You've been all over the country with us.
That's sweet.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Burton and Samuel went to Germany when we played in Europe.
Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Was I in your belly or was I not born?
Not yet.
You weren't.
Oh,
I know. Maybe we'll do another trip to Europe and you can come.
okay.
We can sell our
I'm up for
CDs.
that.
Charleston, I have a question. Okay, so like you've always been around music,
Mm-hmm.
but now you're really invested in music. Do you feel like you were like pressured or like kind of pushed to do music, or do you feel like it's like your own thing, or maybe like a comedy? I don't know. Like, how do you feel about where music came from for you?
That's a good question. So, I know that I'm the host, but when I first did my first play, I don't think it's expected of me because Burton doesn't do plays
Mhm.
or anything. It's not expected of me. It's just who I am, and it's really fun to do it, and it's just my way.
I mean,
Mhm.
I can see that. You definitely have your own like charisma and your own like way of
Yeah.
presenting yourself that is very special. It's good.
Yeah.
Good
Nobody
stuff.
lights up the stage like
Nope.
you. Yep.
And you also like make everybody else feel comfortable too,
Mhm.
you know.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever listen to Alathea music?
Nope.
Fair. Only when you have to, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Alathea song?
I don't know any of your songs.
We are so loved in all the other places of the world. That's so funny. That's fine.
That's totally fine.
It's totally fine.
There.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. It's fine. Totally fine, Charleston.
Have you ever won any awards for your band?
We actually have. We've won the International Singer-Songwriter Awards
Ooh, that's cool.
for a song that I wrote called Hurricane. And a guy with a British accent called us to tell us we won. So I was like, it's international, I guess. And then we won Toronto, Canada's favorite folk band
Oh,
for a song that I wrote called Hurricane.
that's cool.
And we've never been to Canada, but we were their favorite. So we have never gone to Canada because we
should
want
go
to
to
still be their favorite.
We should go to Canada.
Let's do it. Let's go. And then we won the folk category of the John Lennon Songwriting Contest,
That's cool.
which was a really big deal in the songwriting world for Hurricane. We've run one for other songs too. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
We
The Australian one?
no, the Merle Fest,
Oh yeah.
but that was
so-
for Halls of Heaven. So we won the songwriting competition at Merle Fest.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to go to Merle Fest and play right before Bela Fleck.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was a really, really
That's
cool
awesome.
opportunity.
How many albums do you have?
I think we have 7 that are still in print. We have 2 that nobody's allowed to listen to.
Why
No.
Our
not?
first 2.
Oh,
They're rough.
But we have 7 that we still,
that's awesome.
you know what your brother calls our merchandise table at shows.
What?
The memorabilia table.
Because we sell CDs on the memorabilia
Oh.
table.
Yeah.
Yeah. He thinks they're ancient devices.
They are though.
Well, that may be true, but there are
Yes.
still people who buy them, so we still lug them around. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, we have 7 of them. 2 of them are Christmas albums. One's a hymn album, and then the rest are all songs that I've
That's
written.
cool.
One is children's album.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find them on iTunes and Spotify and YouTube.
That's cool.
So since you've never listened to our music, you can go with
Feel
it.
free to go check out our iTunes page.
You were talking about CDs being ancient, which they are. Has the switch from CDs and discs and stuff to more electronic, Spotify, all that stuff affect your band?
It
And
does. It's been a major shift, and we kind of figure it out as we go. But we used to make as much money selling CDs as we did performing.
Yeah.
That is not the case anymore,
Yeah.
strangely. But I will say that for both like streaming online and CD sales, what really makes you be able to keep playing music is to play music. Like
Yeah.
going out and playing live music, that's what kind of keeps everything on the
Yeah.
tracks. So even like putting a lot of stuff like on YouTube or whatever, it just helps generate getting people out to shows. And that's where the magic happens.
That's cool.
Yeah.
When we first started playing music, we played anywhere and everywhere people would ask us to come play. Even if it was a coffee shop and there were 3 people there.
We played at a gas station once.
We did play at a gas station once because we played a big concert, and this man at the end of it came up to us and he said, "You're my wife's favorite band, and she's so sad that she didn't get to come because she's working at the gas station tonight." And so we went to the gas station and we got our instruments out and we played for her in the gas station.
Like,
Right there by the gum.
All awkward, like by the gum. Yes. And the beef jerky.
Yeah, we just played some songs for her in the gas station. But we did that because we love playing music and we love sharing music with people. And that's when we started the band. That was what drove us, and that's what still drives us. There were times where we did make a lot of money because we could sell CDs, and we would sell a lot at big concerts and conventions. Now what helps us be able to keep playing is honorariums. People pay us. We sell t-shirts. Everybody wants a t-shirt.
A soft t-shirt.
Yep, it's soft. But what continues to drive us is the magic that happens between performing in an audience and sharing your story and your song.
Is it possible to make a revenue through streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music?
If you are Taylor Swift, for sure. If you are a independent musician, it's a little bit trickier because you don't generate enough revenue online too.
Yeah.
But what you can do is continue to promote yourself from what's online, and that generates interest, and then that gets people out to shows, and that's when you can really connect with people.
That's cool.
You know, the other day, I was just thinking about how it generates interest. I was in Unicoi, Tennessee, showing some people some land, 35 acres in a mountain. Like we had to take a side-by-side to get to this mountain property in the middle of nowhere. And the man who owns the property, his house is above the 35 acres. So we were in the middle of nowhere and we're hiking up to see the acreage. And he came down in his Jeep. And I was like, "Hey, I'm the agent. I'm showing these clients this land." And he was like, "I know you." And I was like, "Well, I'm in a band." And he was like, "Alathea?" And I was like, "Yes."
That's cool.
And he was like, "I listen to your music every single morning."
That's
and I was like, "You do?" And he was like, "I'm going to show you." He pulled out his phone and it was Spotify and it had Alathea, and he showed that he listens to it every single morning.
That's cool.
So that's really cool. Like we just get pennies when somebody streams a song. It adds up, to like $200 here and there, but we don't even know how many people are still hearing our songs and hearing what we have to say and the art we create. And it was kind of a cool reminder that people are still listening.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So the Tri-Cities is a very music-related city and area. Does that help you with your music career?
Well, I think a couple of things. When we started music, most of our friends who were making music lived in Nashville. And Nashville is very competitive. And there's lots of places to play, but it's super, it's kind of like pitting people against each other a little bit. And so we always loved coming back here because we're inspired by like this beautiful place, these mountains and rivers and creeks. And but there's so many places around here to play music too. And so our kind of like when people ask us like, how do you get started? You just go play everywhere you can play.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to like be true to like what you want to do and what you want to say, then that resonates with people because that's what people want, right? They want to believe what you're sharing with them. I do think this is like a beautiful place, and there is a ton of history here, but it's not a history that's like a competition history. It's like a let's all shine light on what other what our other
Yeah.
friends and artists can do.
That's cool.
And I mean, even like the tradition of bluegrass, like traditionally when a bluegrass band plays, they take turns and they each get a solo, so they each get their own moment, like in the light. And I think that's one of the unique things about this area, is that there's enough room for all the people who.
Yeah.
It's kind of a very collaborative place to get to
That's cool.
play music.
Yeah.
No, the first country music recordings were done in Bristol.
Mhm.
And the Carter family is from here, June Carter Cash. And it is a place where people kind of cheer each other on with music. I'm shocked that the amount of talent that is currently in the Tri-Cities. There's so many talented people. Trey Hensley, Grammy Award winner, lives in Jonesboro. The people at Jonesboro Repertory Theater, Charity, the talent that is there is shocking. And that's a place where people cheer each other on. I would say that talent is as good as Broadway, and there it is in Jonesboro.
Yeah.
There's so many places where talented people have outlets in this area to share their gifts. And I feel lucky to be part of it.
That's cool. In your band, are there any like focus on the lyrics? Do the lyrics like mean anything, or do you just write down words on a page?
That's a great question. Sometimes when I sit down to write, I've been thinking about something enough that I can write a song in 3 minutes. Like it just all comes out. And I'm inspired by the things that are around me. A lot of times when I'm writing a song, I'm processing something that's happening, or something I've seen, something beautiful I've seen happen, something painful that's happened, something painful I've seen happen to other people. And the way I process that is sitting down with my guitar and a song comes out.
That's awesome.
A lot of times I'm a person of faith. And so a lot of my lyrics, you'll find my faith in my lyrics. But I'm also a person of faith who believes my faith goes into all parts of my life. My joys, my sorrows, my love songs, my heartbreak songs. My faith is in all of that. So you'll hear my faith in my songs, but it doesn't mean I just write songs about my faith.
I mean, she's the songwriter. So, but I love that about the way that your mom writes songs, is that it's not just like about nature, not just about God, or just about like something that happened at school. It's like it kind of like a processing of all those things together. She's one of my favorite songwriters. But we do say, like, we laugh about sometimes after, somebody comes to hear us play a show and they've never heard us before, and they listen to like an hour and a half of us playing music, and then they're like, what kind of music do you play? Like, you just heard us, So we call it like front porch music, because it's kind of where everybody can sit around and share music and tell stories. Your mom, besides being a songwriter, is an excellent storyteller. So that's part of the Alathea show experience too. So front porch music, that's how we describe it.
So you said you went to Germany for your band. Have you gone on any other big trips for your band?
We have played in South Korea.
That's cool.
Which was amazing. It was so fun. We played at a music festival there, and it was all Korean artists, but they wanted somebody to represent North America, and they had found a video of us on YouTube singing our song Hurricane, and they called our booking agent, and they paid us to go to South Korea, and they paid for Uncle Justin to come with us. And from the minute our plane touched the ground, we were treated like princesses. Like, they had this huge welcoming committee for us, and we had a car and a driver and 2 translators.
That's cool.
And they took us to the fanciest hotel we've ever been to. And Uncle Justin the whole time was like, I love being treated like a princess. This is the best Alathea trip I've ever been on. But it was amazing. I hope we get to go back, and I hope we can take you the next time we go.
At the end of it, he was telling us through a translator his story, and his family was North Korea. And so his heart was still for his family stuck in North Korea. And he asked Mandee, you still have to do this, to write a song about peace, about the possibility of peace that could happen again. And yeah, so it's interesting when you go, the like world history becomes personal, and you understand it just a tiny bit more, how complicated and complex it is. Yeah, so we've South Korea, we went to Germany twice or three
Yes.
times.
Twice. No, 3 times.
I think we've been 3
Yeah.
times. And we've been to South America, Mexico and
Ecuador. And Honduras.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. And then pretty much every state except for
I still haven't been to Montana.
And Wyoming.
And Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
And Alaska.
And Alaska.
Thank you.
We
And
have
Hawaii.
been to Hawaii, yes. I know. I'll take you, I promise.
Do you have any funny stories from South Korea?
Oh, that was Germany. He knows the story. I'm getting set up here.
Do you have any funny stories from your trips?
Oh, well, let's see. Do you want an embarrassing story?
Yes.
So, I am not very gifted in second language acquisition, though I've given it some tries. I don't even know if I can. Okay, so in Germany, thank you
Is Danke.
is Danke. I kind of got a little muddled in my brain. I don't know if it was, I don't know. Also, I'm just really awkward. So
Yeah.
I very emphatically said donkey instead of Danke.
Donkey.
She walked around thanking people by saying donkey.
Donkey.
Instead of Danke. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like Christy's story. When we were in South Korea, like she said, I like to tell stories from stage, but when we were in Korea, I couldn't tell stories because the Korean language is very hard. So I learned 2 words when we went to Korea. I learned hello, which is annyeonghaseyo.
Annyeonghaseyo.
And thank you, which is 감사합니다.
Oh.
So we would get on stage and we would play for an hour, and all I could say was annyeonghaseyo and 감사합니다. So I would say annyeonghaseyo and we'd play a song, and then I get done 감사합니다. And then I'd be like, well, annyeonghaseyo. And so we did that for an entire hour, and the audience was so sweet. They laughed at us. And we played at the festival for 3 days. And the last day, our translator, before we were getting on stage, she was like, the audience loves you all. And if you can get on stage and say, I love you in Korean, they'll go crazy. And I was like, teach it to me. I'm a sponge. I can learn anything. And she said, I love you in Korean is 사랑합니다. So I was back.
사랑합니다.
Yep. So I was backstage and I was like, 사랑합니다. 사랑합니다. And we got on stage, and I don't know if it was the lights or the microphones, or there were 10,000 people there. So 10,000 Korean people there. And instead of 사랑합니다, I went 사랑합시다. And the whole audience went. And I was like, well, annyeonghaseyo. And so we played our set, and when we got off stage, our translator was crying because she was laughing so hard. And I was like, what did I say? And she said, instead of I love you, I had said, let's all love each other, which at a music festival is pretty awkward.
Yeah. That's pretty awkward.
Yeah, it's kind of worse than her saying donkey, don't you think?
Is this a competition? I don't know.
Yeah, competition for awkward.
I usually win awkward.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Was music the number one thing you wanted to do when you grew up? And if it wasn't music, what would it be?
Well, when I went to college, I was pre-med, and I studied biology and chemistry, and I wanted to be a doctor, like a pediatrician. Yeah, I could have had a lot more money, but I love music. And once I saw the magic of music, there was no other choice for me.
Yeah.
But what I love about music is, gosh, nothing's better than being a mom.
Yeah.
And I get to be a mom who makes music. And nothing's being better than having a best friend. But I get to be a best friend who makes music. And music opens doors in my life. So for me, it's music. Music has even opened doors for real estate for me.
Yeah.
So music is something I see myself doing until I'm in the nursing home, which you're not going to put me in a nursing home.
Yeah, no,
I'll be on your front porch. But till my last breath, I can see myself sitting in a rocking chair playing my guitar.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hopefully with her nearby, singing harmony.
I mean, so I would say that I didn't see myself. I you asked if I got nervous, and I said every time, which is still pretty much true. Not as much as I used to be, but like my son, I was a little terrified of being in front of people. So it was kind of a surprise that would end up being my job.
Yeah.
But I love it so much, and I love that like at the end of the day we get to like communicate with people, and everybody like has this part of them that can come alive, and sometimes we like race through lives without letting that part of us come alive, but music kind of opens up the space for us all to come alive together. So I can't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah. You said that you were a songwriter. Do you have a short story about one of your songs and what the meaning and how you wrote it is?
Yeah. I'll tell you about when Cristi and I first started playing music. We rented a little cabin in Unicoi in Limestone Cove, right in the middle of the Cherokee National Forest. And we would go out and we'd tour, and we'd go all over the world, all over the U.S., and we'd come back to our little cabin in the forest.
Sweet.
It's a really beautiful, magical part of our area. But so one year for Cristi's birthday, we were at the cabin, and I went into her room at 3 a.m, and I woke her up, and I was like, okay, do you want to go back to sleep, which I kind of was hoping she would choose, or would you like to go up on the top of the mountain and watch the sunrise for your birthday? And she said, I think I'd like to watch the sunrise. So I made some breakfast, and we drove up to the top of the mountain. We got there at 3:30. I didn't realize you don't have to get up at 3, because back then I was more of a night person. I never really caught a lot of sunrises. Mostly the sunsets. So this was probably one of my first sunrises to catch. So we got up there at 3:30, and it was still dark, and it was still quiet, and all the stars were out. And we walked over to this little overlook that looks east into the North Carolina mountains, and we sat there in the dark and in the quiet, and waited and waited and waited. And I kept looking at her going, happy birthday. But we waited for about 2 hours in the dark.
Oh my gosh.
And then the first ray of sunlight came up over the mountains, and the trees that were behind us were full of birds, and they started singing right when the sunrise came up. But they didn't sing a single note until the first ray of light came up.
That's cool.
And I went right back down to the cabin after that, and I wrote the song Morning Birds. You do know that song. But what I like about that song is, and that feeling and that story, is that there are times in your life where you're just on the top of the mountain and you're sitting there in the dark. And maybe it's a time in your life where you're sad or you're scared or you don't know what to do. And you're just sitting in the dark, waiting. But the light always comes. And when the light shows up, your soul can burst into song like those birds.
That's sweet.
Yeah. So there's always an end to the darkness, and the light's always going to show up.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite song?
I think my favorite Alathea song, and maybe my favorite other song too, it changes like in different parts of different times. One of the songs that's my favorite is a song she wrote called Tremble, and she wrote it when Samuel was born, around that time. And it's kind of about how like a butterfly, the whole thing is like one tiny little thing can change everything.
Oh,
so I think about that with Samuel, because a child changes your life so dramatically. There's kind of like an inside joke I always want to start our shows right now with this song that Mandee wrote called Common Ground, which it's one of my favorites too. But I think my favorite ones are the ones that she's writing right now, because I know they're coming from a place that I don't know yet. So it'll be interesting to see like how they come and how they come into being.
That's cool.
Just like Cristi, for me, my favorite song of the band's changes a lot. But right now, I think my favorite song is a song I wrote a while ago called Perfect Love.
That's cool.
And it's from that verse in the Bible, perfect love drives out fear.
Yeah.
And when you have real love, you don't have any fear. And it's a whole story in the song. So that one's my favorite. And then today could be different tomorrow. And then my favorite song in the world. I love the Leonard Cohen song, Hallelujah. It's just such a well-written song. Gosh, there's songs that blow my mind all the time. I love the Bonnie Raitt song, Dimming of the Day. Oh, so good. Oh, I love the song You'll Never Leave Harlan Alive. It's a good one. By Daryl Scott. He's a great songwriter.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, and there's this new Trey Hensley song that he hasn't recorded yet. And You're Still Gone. So good.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for that one.
What are the future goals for the band?
That is a great question. So kind of like a weird answer. When we first started playing music, we went to a show and we saw one of our favorite performers play there, and we got to talk to him a little bit afterwards. His name was Rich Mullins. And he told us like a lot of things. He was like, if when you're writing a song, you want people to feel like they've been there before, even if they haven't, and so, or it feels close to them. And we had just played a song for him, and he was like, that song just did that. And he told us a bunch of really cool things. But one thing he told us was, decide right now what success means for you, because everyone around every corner is going to be trying to tell you if you're successful or not based on whatever they think is successful, money, fame, popularity, whatever it is. And so really early on, we started thinking about what are our goals? Like, what do we really want? And I think we found out pretty quickly that what we want is to be able to connect with people through music. And so that's changed a lot through the years, like what that looks like. I mean, obviously we play concerts, but the way that it looks in each season of our lives is different. But I think that's still kind of like the driving thing. So like even while I'm writing this book, like the point is to connect with people. So when Mandee's selling houses, she gets to connect with people, and you get to experience like what it means to be in community with other people and not just be lost all alone by ourselves.
Yeah.
And the next thing that is, I am trying to write a whole new album of songs, which means 10 to 13 new songs. And then hopefully we'll be making a new album pretty soon. And so that's a big goal coming up, immediate goal. And I've got a few good ones really going.
That's cool.
So
some of my favorites.
Yep, some of her favorites. So we're writing new material, going to record a new album. And hopefully we could get this little boy Charleston to sing on the album. And yes. And just to keep playing shows when we can. Well, this winter's been pretty busy for us. We played in Naples, Florida for 3 days. We just played in New Jersey. So we want to keep at least maybe doing a trip once a month where we're playing some music.
That's cool. Do you have anything to say to the audience or how to listen to your music?
Yeah. I want to say thanks for tuning in today and listening. Thanks for listening to Kidversations all the time and tuning in to my son Charleston as he hosts Kidversations. For Alathea, for our band, you can find us online. We are on Apple Music, on Spotify. You spell Alathea, Alathea. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram, Alathea Music. And you can send us a direct message if you want to book a show. We'd love to come play for you.
We have a website too.
Oh, and our website is alathea.com.
What about you?
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes to hang out with us here. And thank you, Charleston, for taking the time to interview us, of all people.
You're such an excellent host. Maybe you should go home and listen to our music.
Is that a hard pass?
Maybe. Thank you for watching Kidversations. And remember, we post a new episode every Friday at 6.
Bye!
Kidversations, small voices, big stories.